She is the king of all sports. She's taken no athlete, no male athlete, a woman athlete, no one has ever taken a league and put the entire league on their...
Imagine carrying the league on your back. Since the WNBA All-Star voting just took place, let's get right to the point. Indeed, that has everyone talking. Not only journalists, not just fans. It McKesson's that Caitlin Clark, the most talked about rookie in recent memory, be selected as a starter for the All-Star game. With almost 1.29 million votes, she was the frontrunner in the fan vote. Not only is that amazing, it's unprecedented. Here's the twist, though. Although the players received adoration from fans and even the media, they as the 9th best guard. Let me reiterate that. Caitlin Clark was ranked 9th among the guards by the players who actually share the court with her. And we're expected to assume that's fair somehow.
Our voting told us something, and it confirms exactly what we think. The other players in the league can't stand Caitlin Clark. I mean, it's baffling.
It's as if the players are watching something entirely different from what the media and spectators are watching. What's happening here, then? A disagreement? Or is there a more profound, private event taking place behind the scenes? Let's actually dissect this now. From day one, Caitlin Clark has been scrutinized. She gets body checked in the paint, blitzed off screens, and double-teamed in every game. She has so many MVP awards that you would assume she's been playing for 10 years. Like Steph Curry in the championship game, the league stands up for her. The league's 9th best guard? That doesn't add up, come on. Why do teams adjust their entire defensive strategy to slow her down if she poses no threat? Why does every scouting report focus on her? Why are videos showing her face guarded 94 feet out from the hoop showing up? The players either respect her game and are unwilling to acknowledge it, or they are allowing their emotions to interfere with their ability to make objective assessments of her play. We're talking about more than simply votes, which is what makes this so annoying. We're discussing acknowledgement and giving credit where credit is due. I would like to know why Caitlin is viewed like the public enemy #1 whenever she sets foot on the floor if she wasn't excellent. Since many people were surprised by this aspect of the All-Star results, let's now discuss Paige Bueckers. This season, Paige has been amazing. She has undoubtedly had a polished, intelligent appearance, and her stats are sound. However, higher than Caitlin in the end. Paige was chosen 2nd by fans. She was 5 by the media. She is ranked at 4 by the players. She landed higher than Clark overall. This is when things become complicated. According to the statistics, Caitlin continues to lead in the majority of significant categories. Assists, 3-pointers, and overall floor effect. She is carrying the burden of being the league's greatest draw while doing it with a fever squad that is failing. How, therefore, does Paige, who is excellent but doesn't consistently draw double teams, outperform Clark in the rankings? This has nothing to do with likability. The question is who is truly in control. And it's not Paige isn't deserving of her position. However, if her performance puts her ahead of Caitlin, we must wonder how these rankings were determined. Tell the truth. Do you believe Paige is deserving of a higher ranking than Caitlin Clark? Or is this just another instance of the league retaliating against the publicity that Clark has been receiving? Now let's get to the front court. What happened to Aaliyah, everyone? Boston is equally, if not more, awful. Quietly, Boston is enjoying a terrific season. Despite being effective, physically strong, and playing like a seasoned veteran who has dominated for years, she is ranked as the 9th best frontcourt player in the WNBA by the player vote. You have rookies ranked higher than her, really. Players who have shown occasional glimpses, but fall well short of her leadership and consistency. Particularly, Kiki Irifan was scored higher than Aaliyah. Kiki isn't Aaliyah Boston, but don't get me wrong, she's been. This assessment simply doesn't seem fair. Simply said, it feels like bias. Examining the pattern of contempt shown by Boston and Clark, it becomes apparent that individual achievement is not the only factor. Here's the question, then. Is this a message to the Indiana Fever, or is it about basketball? Because wearing that Fever jersey seems to require twice as much effort in order to receive half the credit. Alright, let's be honest. Not all player votes are based on skill. Now we are beginning to see it clearly. Instead of voting for the players who are dominating on the court, Players are voting for their friends, teammates, or just people they click with. For instance, consider Kelsey Plum. She was ranked 6th by the media, but the player was placed 16th. That is a decline of 10 spots. Now describe how Plum has been an important Sparks leader. She helps during crucial times and is effective and assertive. She is ranked lower than players that aren't even consistently making headlines, though. Next up is Natasha Cloud. She is ranked 8th by the media. She's tied for 4th, according to the players. Why? Because she is liked by others. I understand that personality is important. However, we must concentrate on performance when it comes to All-Star. This merely demonstrates that players cast ballots. Who's in the crowd is the issue. Regardless of your skill level, you will fall behind if you do not participate in the click. What do you think, then? Should from the WNBA's All-Star rankings? Or does its bias still make it valuable? Since the MVP race is where things get even more dramatic, let's change our focus. It's essentially a two-player race at the moment. A.A. Wilson versus Napheesa Collier. Collier has been so emotional. She is leading her team like a real MVP, dominating every stat line and putting her all into she does. She was ranked 2nd by the media. Players are ranked 2nd, while fans are 1st. Let's face it, A.A. hasn't been as dominant this season, but she still maintains the top slot. I'm not arguing that A.A. isn't worthy of love, though. Although she has long been the league's face, Collier's stats speak for themselves if we're only considering this season when awarding MVPs. Okay, so what are we voting on? Reputation or performance? Because, well, AJ wins if it's reputation. However, Napheesa is more deserving of respect if the argument is about who is now having the most fun. MVP vote if you had one? Since Julie Van Loo suffered a cold fate, we must discuss her. She practically went back to the United States to report to her team, the Golden State Valkyries, after helping Belgium win a big event. And she's waving in midair, discovered via social media. Not the team, not her agency, nor her coach. That's crazy, Twitter. Although the WNBA is a business, athletes can still be treated with dignity. Julie should have been warned. She simply flew halfway over the world to fulfill her WNBA commitment and represent her country. Thanks to players like Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is achieving its goals of expansion, increased viewership, respect, and revenue. Here's the issue, though. A league cannot expand while the individuals who brought it about are destroyed. Fans cannot be asked to attend while their votes are disregarded. It is impossible to plead for media attention and then muzzle those who provide it. If you rank your friends like it's a high school popularity contest, you can't call it sisterhood. The league seems to want all the advantages of stardom without having to deal with the awkward conversations that accompany it. The most thrilling WNBA season in years is currently underway, but it is being overshadowed by drama, jealousy, and pettiness. What are your thoughts? Will the WNBA be able to handle this level of stress? Or is it time for significant top-down change? Let's take it back home. There was more to this all-star predicament than snubs. Collier, Boston, and Clark weren't the only ones involved. It has to do with something more significant. It demonstrated to us that the WNBA is at a turning point. It either enters this new period with openness, equity, and genuine respect, or it breaks down under its own weight. Because at the moment, players are perplexed, fans are angry, and the league appears unstable. Now what? Gamers must be truthful with themselves. Coaches must be vocal. Fans will leave if this continues, so the league office needs to pay attention. Additionally, talented athletes like Caitlin Clark, who contribute millions to the league, may choose to play elsewhere. What do you think the WNBA's future will actually hold if this keeps up? Or self-destruction? In the comments below. If you've come this far, hit that like. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe for more honest conversations.